can start.
Okay. Let's continue. Publication steps. What are the steps that you should follow to write a paper? First, plan. You have to have a plan. There is a say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you are not planned, if you don't have a plan for everything in your life, so you are planning to fail. Read and read and read. You will not be able to write if you don't read enough. This is very important, and I think you know it. As much as you read, as better as you can write, because you will get the terms, you will get the styles of people who are writing. Okay, so as much as you read, you can write. Reading more in your field teaches you what you should focus on. So when you read a lot, you will see how people, what are the things that people focus on. Okay, what are the things that you should make attention of more? What is the preferred style or presentation of information? Style is very important. You should have your own style of writing. And it is difficult to get your own style from the beginning. First, you will have, you don't have your style or presentation, but by that time you will have your own by teaching yourself. Maybe at the first time, you just take one style of people who are good enough in the field and just try to emulate, try to simulate, try to do like him. And then by that time, you will find yourself have your own style. What are the basic elements of the research in your domain? What are the basic things that all researchers deal with? So this is from the reading you have to get. Focus on the elements of research. How the research design your field, what are the data collection methods that you usually use, how people analyze the results, what is the way of analyzing, how they interpret the results, what they use to interpret the results, are they using tables, are they using diagrams, how they describe the diagrams, how they describe the tables, all these things you will get through your reading. So you need to read a lot. Choose the publication that suits the work in hand. So where to publish? Should I send for conference or journal? Depends on your state. If you are just in your beginning of study, then maybe you can publish in a conference because the idea is still immature. It's not mature enough. Okay? It's not strong enough. It's just a simple idea. So you go for conference because conference can be extended after that to journal paper. Advised by your advisor or colleague, or maybe you have publication strategy. As we said in the beginning, if you have publication strategy, which one it should be published first, and the second one, the third one, etc. Read the author guidelines. In every conference or journal, there are some author guidelines. If you fail to follow the guidelines by the journal and send, maybe you are wasting the time because they will return it back to you because you don't follow the guidelines. You should follow the guidelines. So what are these guidelines? The font, the figures, the tables, the references, the number of words, number of pages, all these things should be followed. Okay? You should do it according to what the journal asks for. Okay? So don't just write your by yourself the font that you want, the figures that you want, the reference style that you want, and they said no. Every journal has its own author guidelines you have to follow. Okay? Write your first draft of the paper. Later we will show how to write. So don't say it's difficult to write. Don't say I cannot write. Don't say how can I write like this paper. Nobody writes perfect thing from the beginning. Just write a draft. Anything. Just as one of my friends advised me, he said if you want to start writing a paper, open a Microsoft Word document, and write the title, and write the body, the structure of the paper. Abstract, introduction, background, methods, results, discussion. Just write the guidelines. It's the outlines. He said this is the first thing. As soon as you do this, then the next time you remember about this paper, you can write something. Maybe one line, 2 lines. And this is how people start. Okay? Just start to draft. Write it as you understand. Don't care from the first time about perfection. It should be perfect. It should be formatted from the first time. No. Because you will direct your attention to something which is not the main concern in the beginning. All these things you can do it as soon as you finish. In the first draft, just write freely. Write according to your understanding. Okay, and then you will polish it. You will refine it. You will improve it. Revise your draft critically. When you finish writing, revise it critically. Don't be biased to yourself. Treat it as one else's paper and just criticize. This is the only way that you can do it well. Criticize yourself. Give it to somebody else to read and criticize. Insist for him to criticize you. Please criticize him. Don't say, okay, write good for me, and I will be happy. No. Okay, please. For myself, I was urging to give to some colleagues who are seniors, even in different areas, and I told them, please, 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 criticize it very well. I don't want to see it clear. I want to see it a lot of red colors, corrections, because this is for me. Please do me a favor. Even if it's a tough comment, this is for me. Even if you say it doesn't deserve to be a research paper, just say it. Criticize it. So this is very important. Myself, I read it many times, but I cannot see the mistakes that I do unless somebody else read it. They can say a lot of things. Okay? Ask your supervisor or colleague to read your first draft in order to check spelling, grammar. The most annoying thing, this is very, very bad. When you read or you review the paper that has a lot of spelling problems. It's a killing point. For me, when I see a paper in this format or this form, I don't like to continue. Grammar, consistency. There is no consistency between the paragraphs, between the sections, it seems like this guy wrote this one month ago and then continued after 1 month, or maybe this is written by someone and this is written by different one, and it's like this. There is no consistency. There is no linking. There is no relation between. There is no flow. You can feel it. If there is a flow in the ideas, you can feel it while you are reading. And it should be adhered to journal or conference requirements. It should be according to the guidelines. If it's not according to the guidelines, for example, it is out of scope. So why should I read it? It's out of scope. So these things, the paper can be rejected from the editor before it reaches the reviewer. The editor can see if it is sufficient to be reviewed or not. And then after 2 weeks, reject it. Why? Editor reject it. Why? Spelling English is very bad. Very bad English. Not consistent. out of scope. And some of them, they are very tough. If they say it like this, they will say you are careless. Why you waste our time? Don't send this word to our journal again. They will say like this, yes, don't send to ours again, to our journal again. Please. Because you are careless. You feel like people have time, they will look for these simple things, especially in high-rated journals. Okay? So they will consider it that you don't respect. Not respect. Different people, different perspectives. If you give your work to different people to read, they will give you different comments. Make sure to make your paper clear, simple, and easy to follow. Don't write in that language that you feel, oh, it would be good if I use difficult words, or if I use difficult style. No. Try to make it clear and simple as soon as possible. Try to avoid writing long sentences, because we are translating from our own language, from Arabic to English, and this is not correct. It is bad. So we come up with quite long sentences. Try to write short sentences, and try to use linking words. Okay? Therefore, however, as a result, furthermore, yes, it gives
some consistency between.
It's not only consistency; it gives life to your writing. There is a kind of life in your paper, because there are some there is kind of flow. There are some sequence. Okay. This will greatly increase your chance of being published, editors or reviewers. Sometimes editors reject because of the writing. It is a habit. If you do it from the beginning, then you will continue. If you avoid it from the beginning, you will avoid it until the last. Submit your article usually through online submission system. Every journal has online submission system. Or by email to the editor-in-chief. This is very old-fashioned, very old way. Wait for the response. Review stage. Submitted to journal. In the system it shows now it is submitted to the journal. This is the first stage. And then with editor. If it passes initial technical check, for example, spelling, writing, plagiarism, they check it for plagiarism from the first time. If it doesn't, yes, then even editor will not receive it. And then when editor take it, it will distribute it to reviewers. It will show in review or under review. Required review completed when it reviews completed the review. Decision in progress maybe for 2 or 3 days. When the progress is decision in progress, these 2 or 3 days you will be very stressful waiting for the decision. And usually by the weekends, because editors are working, they have a lot of work. And this is just extra work for them. Okay? So when they find free time by the weekend, they will decide based on the reviewer. And then after the decision in progress, you will receive a message, either accept, reject, or revise, maybe major or minor revision. After the revision, the paper goes for the same stage again. First review duration, 2 to 3 months. Every journal has its average review duration. Depends. This is the cycle. Author starts, submit a paper, it goes to the editor. Basic requirements, okay, yes, means assign reviewers. Assigned reviewers, it goes to the reviewer, review and give recommendation, and then reviewer gives back, collect reviewers' recommendations to by the editor, okay? Make a decision, accept, going here, reject means finish, red circle. Revision required means revise the paper and goes again for the same cycle. Okay? This is the publication cycle. Accepted from the first time, and it is rarely happened. Nobody gets accepted from the first time. Celebrate. See how he's happy? Very happy. Flying. Revise, also celebrate. Minor or major, it's okay. At least they have another chance. Okay? You feel great. It is the normal outcome. This is the normal. Rejected.
That's the bad.
Shout on the children. You cannot sleep. You don't like anything. You hate the life. You feel everything is dark. Hate everything. But it is not in the end of the world. It is a normal outcome. It happens frequently. You should ask yourself why. Why it was rejected? This is a normal thing. You have to keep asking yourself why papers get early rejection. Aims and scope. Paper is of limited interest or covers local issues only. You see, when you do research on just limited scope or your work is applied only to some place, you cannot generalize. If you can generalize, you have chance because your work will be generalized and is applicable. Okay, sample type, geography, maybe it's not okay. Specific, you do your work on a specific product, so your chance is less. Paper is a routine application of well-known methods. You have well-known methods, you just take method and apply it. There is nothing new. Paper presents incremental advance or limited in scope. Incremental means you have previous work, you just increase something, increase a little bit, and then you show it in a big image, then people can see it is incremental because they can read your work. Novelty and significance are not immediately evident or sufficiently well justified. You cannot justify. Why? You cannot justify your work is novel. It is not immediately evident. You should describe a lot to show. The reviewer cannot see directly if it is novel or not. Or maybe preparation could be rejected because failure to meet submission requirements. You don't do according to the author guidelines. Incomplete coverage of literature. Maybe you just do a very small literature review. You don't cover the literature. Maybe you want to say, you want to cover that somebody else do the same work. So you don't cover the whole literature. This is a weak point. Or unacceptably poor English and Virginia. This is according to this source, these guidelines. So rejection not the end of the world. Everyone has papers rejected. Don't take it personally. Don't say this reviewer or this editor does not like me, hate me. Why me? Why other people accept it? Don't take it personally because they don't know you. Try to understand why the paper was rejected. Note that you have received the benefits of the editors and reviewers' time. Take their advice seriously. They give you time and they comment. So take the comments. Take the positive feedback. Re-evaluate your work and decide whether it is appropriate to submit the paper elsewhere. Try to look to your work critically. Okay? And see if you can